I want to give a message to the prophets. There's a lot that comes with being a prophet. The messages that we deliver, those beautiful, amazing messages of wisdom, of insight, of clarity. When that comes, yes, people love and appreciate the message, but not everybody understands how you had to go through hell, hot water, and fire in order to obtain those messages. That the messages come from those feelings that you got to deal with, those feelings that you got to heal, those feelings that you got to feel. It's sometimes that heaviness could be on your heart for hours. It can last the whole day. And see, the thing is, a lot of times the reason as to why it can last us the whole day is because instead of us taking the time to feel it and heal it and deal with it, what we do instead is we distract, we avoid, we run, we numb, and it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away until we face it. Because we got to remember that the wisdom that we are going to acquire is not only going to help us, but is going to help the collective, as we are a voice of reason, a voice for the collective, a beacon of hope, a voice that helps to get people to understand what it is that they are enduring. And those feelings that we try to avoid is the very thing that is going to bring us to the light. Because with every feeling comes a message. With every feeling comes a lesson. With every feeling comes wisdom. And when you acquire that wisdom, it brings you a sense of groundingness and solidarity within your own self, because you realize that all of that pain was not in vain. Ooh, come on, Spirit. All of that pain was for a purpose. That purpose was to deliver a message to your people, to let you know, like, listen, I understand. There is nothing new under the sun. If I feel this feeling, if I feel this principle, it may be a different situation for you. However the situation looks is all vastly different for everyone. But the principle is still the same, because we're all learning the same lesson. Recognize that it's a lesson that you're learning. When you can help other people learn the lesson, how do you help them learn the lesson? They first have to see the lesson for what it is. You have to allow them to face it, to look at it head on and see it. But you are the leader. You feed my sheep. Feed them that wisdom. Feed them the word of the soul. That nourishment, that fulfillment comes from that wisdom, from that message. That's feeding God's sheep. And you are the shepherd. You are the shepherd. You are leading the sheep. You lead by example. You face it first. Face it head on, strong, courageously, confidently, and know that if I can face it, so can you. We gonna face it together. We not gonna go through this alone. We gonna be okay. We gonna be all right. We gonna just be all right. You know why? Because we have God with us. Because God will never leave us nor forsake us. Psalms 46:5, God was within you. You will not fall. You haven't fallen yet. You haven't given up. You haven't checked out, because you have not fallen. You may have tripped, but you haven't completely fallen. This is why you are still here. This is why you are still here. To help others, to keep them from falling. Because God helps you to keep you from falling. So you are there to help others to keep them from falling. So that you can do exceedingly and abundantly in your life. You are here to lead by example. You are here to show people the way to the light. That through this darkness, that just going through the darkness, we will find the light. There is light at the end of every tunnel. But oftentimes it's so dark, we're afraid to walk through it. We need not to be afraid of the dark when we are the light. We are the light that is navigating through that dark tunnel to find its way out. There's always an end of a tunnel. That light at the end of the tunnel is just you illuminating your light to navigate your way out of it. You have the power. Like the Wizard of Oz, the power is within you all along. All you have to do is believe it. All you have to do is believe that the power is within you. You will be just fine. You will be okay. But let me tell you, prophets, you are here to help heal this world. You are here to help with all of this wisdom. The life of a prophet is not easy. It's not for the weak. You're going to feel tired. You're going to feel drained. You're going to feel exhausted. It's going to happen because so much gets thrown at you. And to add insult to injury, you carrying the world's pain. You carrying the trauma of the world. Because not everybody is strong enough to carry it for themselves. You helping them by giving it to God. You helping lift burdens off of people. Just little old you is doing all of that. But let me tell you, there is not one situation that you will go through or have gone through that did not have a lesson to be learned. If you are still dealing with certain feelings, if that's still bothering you, you can't just easily say, oh, I'm gonna just let it go. I'm gonna just release it. No. Things have to be felt and dealt with in order to be released. If you still feel heaviness, there's still more of a lesson that you need to learn. Sometimes lessons can be very deep. Sometimes you can have multiple lessons from one experience. That feeling, all of that energy that's coming from that experience is weighing so heavily on you and you thought you got rid of it. No, baby, you have multiple lessons in one. It's either a 2-in-1, a 3-in-1, or a 4-in-1. You have multiple lessons from that very experience. You figured out one. Okay, what's the next? What's the next? All right, that's it. Every single situation that you go through, there's a lesson to be learned. There's wisdom to be gained. And those that we help may not understand our energy all the time. They may not understand why we are always so heavy. They may not understand how we walk around and we have this trauma just staring out from our eyes. People have no idea why we can feel so heavy at times. Have no idea why our energy can just be a little off at times. Have no idea how we can just sometimes speak on things that are so heavy, because a lot of times that's always just at the forefront of our mind. We are looking at the world, looking at a world that is broken. And although other people can look at the brokenness of this world and just kind of let it go, move on, and just focus on getting themselves together, no, it's different with you. You see in the brokenness of this world and you think, what can I do to help repair it? What can I do to help fix it? Because I don't want this world that my God created to be like this. You know that you work for God. You don't work for no man, you work for God. And you see how this world is broken. You see this world needs fixing. And you think, I can't just sit back and just let this sit like this. Because you feeling all of this pain. You like, if I'm finna feel all of this pain, I want us to feel peace. I want us to feel serenity. I want us to feel love. Remember that the key to healing is love. When you have situations that you need to heal, you gotta feel it, yes. But you have to love yourself through it. You have to love yourself through the experience. Listen, you don't necessarily have to love the situation you were in. You could be completely not happy with the situation. You could not agree with what happened. You don't even have to love the person that did this to you. You don't have to just love them so deeply. But you have to love God for saving you and delivering you from that situation. And you have to love yourself through the situation. And to not beat yourself up, to not hurt yourself. What you do have to do for the other person is to forgive them. Accept what they did. Have gratitude for the lesson that you learned and forgive them. Release it. Let go. Keep moving forward. Because not everybody deserves your love. Because there are some people out here that have a evilness and wickedness in their heart, and they've already chosen their master, and they don't serve the same master that you serve. No, they are fully in the darkness. That darkness does not deserve your love. Because that darkness has your love, it's going to have a aura of protection around it. So whatever karma coming to them is not going to come as when it's supposed to, or it's not going to hit them as hard because your protection is over them. Those people that are of the darkness, that put you into a dark situation, do not deserve your love because of what they put you through. And they have to face the karma, the consequences of their actions. You cannot choose your sin. No. You can choose your sin, You can choose your sin, but you cannot choose your consequences. You need to allow these people, release the attachment to them, cut those energetic cords that are draining you, release them, give them to God, give them to the universe so that they receive their consequence, so that they are reprimanded for their bad behavior. You do not reward bad behavior. Their behavior does not need to be rewarded if it has caused you pain and trauma. If you look into your eyes and you see the trauma and you know the person that caused this to you, they have to be dealt with so they can feel the same exact feeling that you felt, so that they know exactly what it felt like, so that they won't do that to anybody else again, because they know exactly how it feels. There's a lot of heaviness that comes with being a prophet, because you go through so many dark experiences in order to transmute that energy into power within yourself, to empower you. And the messages that you get, that you have to share, is not just for you. It's for God's people. And you got to let those emotions be felt. Because if you run from those emotions, you run from your healing. And if you're not healing yourself, it's not helping the planet to heal. We are that important. The enemy tried to make you feel like you wasn't important, like you wasn't somebody. Baby, you are somebody. You are that important. Helping this world heal. Whatever it is that you go through, know that nothing that you go through is in vain. And there's always a lesson to be learned through every single pain.